it's all about Sabally.
Yeah.
And they really do want to link him. According to the court documents, they're investigating him for treason.
Treason.
This is crazy. It's unbelievable how they could just link it based on a video of him talking to UDP TikTokers who in their right mind will stage a coup and publicly talk to youths of the party that you belong to about your plans. It doesn't make sense. Any rational human being will know that this is a bogus claim.
I mean, talking about that, we saw the affidavit and the court documents that were presented to the judge to give them access to have extension of his detention. Now, what legal minds will tell you, the route we are seeing is they want to charge him for treason. That is the interpretation that a lot of the lawyers that we spoke to are saying. Treason, non-bailable offense.
Exactly. I mean, everybody just finds it completely crazy. And yet still, it is a government and the police that is meant to ensure law and order in this country that is pushing this agenda. It's really scary that we have gotten to this level as a country, using our legal instruments to detain a completely innocent man who was just exercising his right to political participation. That is the Gambia that we are living in today.
Are you worried about his well-being? Sabally, a lot of people say, the UDP leader say, is a thorn in the flesh of the government. He is the biggest critic of this government. He criticized the IGP openly. He criticized the government officials openly. Now today, his document is lying in the same IGP's office. And I mean, this is Gambia, and a lot of people have had a lot of talks coming from the IGP allegedly. And are you worried? How worried are you that he will be charged for treason? How worried are you?
I am worried because of the trend that it is currently taking. It is not looking promising because we expected them to detain him at most for 72 hours. And they have gone through the courts and have extended this, I understand, up to the 5th of January. So already that is showing that these people are ill-intended. They don't have anything. They're not even at this point questioning him anymore about anything. So they just putting this guy there and going about their business. So that trend is really worrying to me. But I would expect the IGP and any authority who is involved in this to act with professionalism. This is not a personal vendetta issue. Deal with that outside of your job. These are people who are upholding public offices. We expect them to act professionally. And not by fear or by favor. Just do the right thing. And they know in their hearts that if they're supposed to do the right thing, this man wouldn't even spend one more minute there. So they're completely off target right now. They're not working as they should.
I mean, a lot of people said, we have heard other political operatives say stuff like this. Lawyer Dabo have said it several times. He one time even said, I'll make the government ungovernable for them if they want to do certain things. Rambo Jaka have said that this country, if you try to arrest Jame, we will bring bloodshed. What is that supposed to mean? But we haven't seen any of them being arrested. That is the fact. Now, why do you think Sabally was arrested for this statement?
Well, really, I think they who set up this whole scheme will be the best persons to answer that question. He's a politician. He's a public figure. He's very outspoken. That is his approach to engage in politically. And he doesn't hold any prisoners when it comes to his political activities. He goes, and that's him. In whatever he gets into it, he does it fully. He doesn't do half-hearted things. This is him. So they should respect us as long as he's doing everything legally. I don't see why they should really bother with him. As you said, others have said worse. So why him? He's being targeted unfairly. That's the bottom line, Fatu.
As a family, do you feel, how do you feel? I said this yesterday, and I was talking to a friend. I said, I don't know how his wife and kids feel. I'm never in their situation, but this is a man who was banned for life, for never ever to take any government position ever in his entire life. Mind you, he's educated, he's call it whatever you want to call it. When he wanted to run for public office, they said, no, you will not run for public office. You can never run. Even though we have thieves who were called by the Janet Commission, we have people who the TRRC have said have killed people. They're still in the system. When I spoke to the president myself, I interviewed him one time about certain people in his government. He said, Fatu, let's wait until after the TRRC or the Commission of Inquiry. But most of those people are still in government. Sabally, who served for Yahya Jammeh's government, let's say for months.
Yes.
Months.
Exactly.
We need to be clear about this.
Yes.
When he served, it was just for months.
Sure.
And then he doesn't have, Sabally is not rich.
No.
We don't see the riches, we don't see the cars, we don't see the houses.
Exactly.
But he's been banned for life.
Yeah.
He was stopped from running for public office. Today he said something that a lot of people have said. He's been arrested.
Yeah.
Now, how does one person take all of this? As the wife of this man, I know Sabally. I come from Lamin, where he was. I know his family. I know his mom. But as his wife, how do you take all of these and just process it?
Yeah.
How does the family deal with all of this?
I think you summed it up very well. That is the reality that we're dealing with. It's the height of selective justice in this country. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, but like, that's how I felt if that was my husband, if that was my brother, if that was my partner. At some point, I felt like, Sabally, everybody knows me and him, we had our issue. But the thing is, you know, there's just so much one person can take. You know, from banning, you don't want me to work in government, fine. I want to go to election. Sorry about that. I want to go to election. I'm sorry sometimes when I promise myself I'm not going to be emotional.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be doing this.
I don't want
cry.
to be on this show because, but I think it's important we put these things out. I said to myself, if that was my husband, if that was my boyfriend, if that was my brother, if that was my cousin, how much can one person take? And sometimes I tell people, maybe we should look at why Sabally is always on the offensive. Because there's so much he's dealing with. There is so much. You can never walk. You are a master's degree holder. You have all these capabilities, all these qualifications, all of these. No private government person even want to employ you because they feel like the government will not want that. And then you want to run for public office, and you know he was the most qualified person in that. I will say it, he was, but he could not because the law had to stop him. Now he cannot even express himself again. He had to go to jail for that. How does anybody deal with that? How do you deal with that at home?
Well, I won't speak much about the ban because there is an appeal on that in court right now. But for me personally, and this is my view, he was banned by a commission which constituted of people who had vested interest, who had conflict of interest to begin with. I think the foundation was wrong to begin with, not to mention the decision, but that I would leave to the courts to deal with. I think Sabally is one person who has the strongest of spirits that I have ever met. He doesn't carry all these things to the house. If you can imagine that. He's the most loving father. He's a hands-on dad. Every morning he has a routine with all of us. He gets water ready for the children to bath. He makes me my coffee. He's always on the prayer mat. He wakes up before all of us. My 2-year-old will join him on the prayer mat. They'll watch their cartoons together. He operates with energy. If you give him a negative vibe, he will just snub you. And that is what most people will interpret as arrogance. We live in a society where everybody wants people to act a certain way, to toe their line. And Sabs is not made to do that. He has his own way of doing things. I call him, I tease him, I say, you are eccentric. And Gambians should learn to embrace difference in people. Everybody cannot be boring and meek. Everybody cannot be sweet and nice. People have to be different. Sabs embodies the spirit of our current youth, the youth of our generation, the frustrations of the youth of our generation. The sadness of parents who lost their kids to AKI. He is that voice. We should embrace it. That's what he projects. It's the frustrations of our generation. Not all of us are able to express that. That's what he does. He works, he believes in what he believes in, and he should be let to operate. He's one of the most tolerant people. People don't know that about him. I don't agree with him most of the time when it comes to ideology, when it comes to politics. He doesn't question that. He actually likes debate. Yeah. He respects people who are willing to debate on ideas. But people have judged him. I mean, he's not perfect. And he'll be the first to tell you that. But he's somebody who constantly learns and improves on himself. And that's his greatest strength. One of his greatest strengths, I would say.
To those who say they still haven't forgiven him, they had this argument this morning before coming to the show. I said to somebody, one thing a lot of the people that hate SABS will tell you, oh, I mean Jamela Taimo. But we have forgiven all the other people. Yeah. That have killed, exactly, that have stolen. But SABS made a statement that he apologized for. Yeah. We still haven't, some of us have still holding on to that.
It's what people want to hold on to. Yeah. I mean, I'm not making any excuses for him, because he has said what he has to say about that issue. Yeah. And I keep telling him he's not very good at defending himself. Yeah. I was there that night, and this is the first time I'm saying that. And I remember when he came back from the GRTS or wherever it is where that statement was made. He normally doesn't talk to me. We're very good at separating our works from house. Yeah. And he said, I'm really not happy with what I had to do today. And that's where I will leave it at. So I can tell you that from the day that that was done, he had regrets about it. But that's his burden to carry. The fact that people don't like him, it's acceptable. You cannot like everybody. And he knows that. He knows that he's not everybody's cup of tea. But one thing that nobody can take away from him is the love he has for this country. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean, to those who say, I said this to somebody, I said I was worried about Jay and the kids, because SABS have gone through worse than this. Yeah. Remember when he was paraded to walk from NIA to handcuffs, and he went to jail. He went through so much public ridiculing and being detained. Yeah. I said he could take care of, he could handle this, but it's the family. I remember, I don't know how true it is, but I remember, because I'm from Lamen, I know the family, I know SAB's mother, Mbakadi, how that woman was proud of him. Yeah. That is his life. Everybody knows that. That woman, he works in the market. Everything that family talks about is Sabally, 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 because he was the star of the family. He was educated, he was bold, he would say anything. And he is a pride for us, Lamen, people from Lamen. But a lot of people believe the impact of his incarceration resulted to him, the mom's sickness, and eventually she died. Sometimes the reason why it's important to bring this, when you keep people, it's not what Sabally is going through, but it's what people outside are going through. Yeah. And how scared are you that, this will affect your family, especially the kids?
Well, like you said, we've been through something like that. That doesn't make this time any easier. And it's affecting us, but we try to be strong about it. We talk about it as a family. My older son, he's very good at trying to lighten the mood with us, making jokes, asking everybody how they are feeling. So we talk about it. We don't make it hush-hush. For the children who are able to understand, we try to explain things to them, at least I do. And we just hope it will make us stronger at the end of the day. We are not going to sit here, because people have been through worse. So we count our blessings every day. We pray that the government will really think about what they're doing and stop immediately.
When you say the government, do you think this is politically motivated?
Exactly. It is. What else could it be, Fatu? Really? What else could it be? I mean, this man is innocent. This man is innocent. I know that this government has tried several times to get him to their camp. He doesn't want to go. So we have seen them punish people in ways that have really made them succumb and join their camp. Sabally is not one of those people. If he wanted to go, he'll go. In the future, if he feels like that's where he wants to go, he'll go. But he strongly believes that UDP is his place. So I don't see that changing.
I spoke to the lawyer earlier before this, and he is very confident that by Tuesday they will charge him. And are you prepared for that?
What are they going to charge him with? Treason?
We don't know. That's what we don't know. We don't know.
I cannot be prepared for that, because they would be charging an innocent man of treason, of something he has no hand in. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And this is not good for the country. People are angry. I know you've seen the the public opinion on this case. It's not good. It doesn't tell well. It could be Sabally today, but if they succeed in silencing Sabally, which is what they want to do, because he's a critic of the government, then they could do it to anybody.
I'm sure the president will look at this critically, because the reason why I'm saying this, government's ratings are looked based on this, how political opponents are treated.
Sure.
And today what we are seeing is all over the world. UDP campaign manager is arrested.
Sure.
UDP campaign manager this and that.
Yeah.
And this government has made name for themselves recently when it comes to political tolerance. I mean, today we can sit here and talk about all of these things and no one is coming to arrest us. Today you can say things on the radio and nobody is arresting you. Now, but if stuff like this are coming out, it will dampen that, that zeal already that is there, that the international community is watching. And I think if I'm a politician, I'm going to let you be and say everything. Some of these things, maybe people look at them as negative people and they will give you political points. But if everybody is looking at this as a political, then that makes it bad. For the
it's not good for the government. I don't know what they're thinking, honestly, but this is not a smart political move. I don't know what angle they're trying to take it, but it is not. And I don't know who is advising our president, but the president needs to open his eyes. I mean, he should be listening to oppositions, because your own people will hardly tell you what you don't like to hear. And governments are suffering. This country, I mean, in the combos, people are depending on one meal a day in the combos now. You cannot keep saying it has to do with global economy. Do something about it. These are the issues that affect SABS. He talks to youths at a personal level every day. He knows their issues. Youths are frustrated. They are trying all kinds of side hustles. They are still not able to make ends meet. Those are the frustrations that are reflected in his speeches. The president should learn to listen with an open mind.
And I wanted to say that because he is more of a motivational speaker.
He is.
And I tell him, I don't know how you do this. He is everywhere speaking to young people. He has this connection, this special connection with the young people. And he always say it is the mindset that he wants to change. Do you think that is a problem? Him talking to the young people all the time? And a lot of them, people like the Bubasan and Jais and others, they believe in him. It's like Taliban and certain things with some of these people that he's very close to. Do you think that's the problem? That's why people see him as kind of a threat?
Well, I don't see what's stopping them from also talking to the youth. That's his passion. This is something he's studied over the years, how to motivate people. And he just has an affection for the young people. And you'll be surprised how much he learns from these young people as well. These are smart young people, dynamic young people in their own right. So it's an exchange that he loves. It's just a natural connection. I don't see what's wrong with that, that you should get to that level to charge somebody treason, Fatu. That's really wrong.
That's really wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing I wanted to say, after everything that happened, did he ever sit down and said, maybe I should just leave this country, go to America or go somewhere and just work and make my own money?
Wouldn't that be the easiest for all of us, including myself? And I think at some level, maybe some of his detractors, that's what they want. But he's never mentioned that. That's not his intention at all. I mean, like you said, he's been through worse, and he has stayed. I don't see him. I don't think I can convince him. This is something that he strongly believes in, and I respect him for that. I mean, why can't we live and let others live? This is our Gambia. Nobody owns it but us.
I saw a post earlier before I came. Somebody said, well, he always say, can't cage me, can't cage me. But today he's caged. Do they understand the meaning of what he said when he says can't cage me? Because I take it to be
It's beyond the physical.
It's beyond the physical, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on some people who are saying, oh yes, he's been killed?
Well, it just shows their level of understanding, their level of thinking, and their intentions for him. Of course, he wouldn't want to be in that position, be detained physically, but caging him is beyond the physical for him. It's about his mental state, his ability to speak, which is exactly what the government is trying to do now, to stop his ability to speak. That is what he refuses. That is what he refuses.
Now, a lot of movements are going on. People are Free Sabally movement and all this. A lot of people are showing their solidarity. You know, even his biggest people that he doesn't see eye to eye with. Some of them have released up to 2 or 3 statements because a lot of people. And the reason why I keep saying this, and I said it to somebody right before I came, this is not just Sabally. If this works, all of us that have a microphone, all of us that are speaking are going to be in trouble.
Big time.
Free speech is going to be in trouble. Yes, there should be responsibility when we speak, but we should not also be scared to speak. And if that happens, to those people who think this is about Sabally, what is your message?
Well, it just shows how limited they are in their thinking. I don't think I have a message for those people, actually. For me, my message is for the government. Let them do the right thing. Let them not take us back to dictatorship. The president, Barrow, was part of those who pushed for this kind of government, this open space. So what happened now? What has gone wrong with him that he wants to take us back to dictatorship? It's not going to be allowed. People will not allow it because, I mean, it doesn't help anybody, like you said. If it's him today, it will be all of us tomorrow. And that's a problem. What he said about taking over the nation has nothing to do with a coup d'etat. It doesn't make sense. Like you said, so many people have said it. People are right now on social media saying the same thing, repeating his words. Are they going to go and arrest all of them? I mean, and then just to take a short piece